One of the issues we have most commonly with students is factoring. Factoring is an issue because it's a skill. And the skill that you need to learn is being able to see an equation and know what else it looks like. What other forms can it have? And one of the forms that you can have is quantities. And when I look at this, my most important part of this equation is the C term. The C term allows me to understand how this number is in relation to this number. 8 can be broken down into 1 times 8 equals 8. It can also be broken down into 2 times 4 equals 8. Those numbers right here are very important. They make up this B term. Now, how they make it up is the skill you need to acquire. We know that your professor wants you to change this into this. To do that, you have to understand that this system is going to look like this. The first term, your A term, not so hard. It's x times x equals x squared. But these next terms, I'm going to box these right here because we don't know what they are the hard ones. We don't know if it's plus or minus or plus, and we don't know what number goes in here. We do know that these numbers right here go into these boxes right here, but we don't know how they go. And being skilled at math is knowing how those numbers are arranged. What two numbers in here will equal 2? And what two numbers in here will equal 2 would be the answer to our problem. So again, can 1 and 8 make 2 in any way? No. Can 2 and 4 make 2 in any way? Yes. So we look at it and we say, all right, I know I got to have a 4 and a 2. And right off the bat, this is where students get confused. They don't know where to put the 4 here or here, the 2 here or there. But right now, we're just going to leave it the same, and we're going to think about it in another way. We're going to think about it as like, I know there's a 4 and a 2 because this has to be the numbers. But where does my plus and minus go? That's the hard part. Well, you have to look at your problem again. Remember, it's approach. What is the sign here and here? Well, we know that this positive sign is important, and we know this negative sign is important. We also know that we have to have a negative 8. So that means that if we have a negative 8 that needs to be identified or needs to happen, then we know that this has to be negative or this has to be negative. Which means that this also has to be negative or this has to be negative and positive. So one way to look at it is that I need to make a positive 2. To make my positive 2, I have to understand that if I take positive 4 minus 2, I'm going to get a positive 2. And that's hard to understand because sometimes we get confused on where the pluses and minuses go. But if you do trial and error, and you do it enough times, you'll start to see it. If I put a positive 2 here, and a negative 4 here, that doesn't give you my answer. And you have to hit that dead end once or twice to see that. And then before you know it, you'll be doing it in your head. Eventually you'll say, I know I have a positive here, I have to have a positive here, and to get that positive, I have to have a negative here. Because 4 minus 2 is 2. That negative 8 comes from the 4 times the negative 2 equals your negative 8. So another step in this process is checking. X times x, x squared. Okay, that looks good. Something like we see. All right, let's do the outside. Oh, that's negative 2x, right? All right, let's do the inside. Okay, it looks like a positive 4x. Are we looking good? Looks like something we have up there. All right, 4 times negative 2, negative 8. All right, looks something similar. Well, let's try to simplify it a little bit. We'll write this because we can't really simplify that. That's 2 a power. All right, but this we can simplify. Okay, well that turns into a positive 2x. And can't really do anything with that. Just got to bring it down. Oh, look at that. That is exactly what we had before.